Hi viewers, welcome back to our channel Light to Crack Math. In our previous video, we had seen about the introduction of integers. So in this video, we'll be seeing the rules for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of integers. Before that, if you are a first time viewer of a channel, then do subscribe our channel without fail and click on the bell button to receive notifications of our future video. So first, we'll be starting off with the addition of integers. So before we move on to addition of integers, you'll have to know that there are two important rules for addition of integers. So first, we'll just check on with the first rule. So the first rule goes like this. To add two integers of like signs, find the sum of their absolute values and place the common sign before them. Okay, so now we'll just see the explanation with an example. So they've told like signs. So like signs means both the numbers should have the same sign, right? So first I'm taking an example of plus 6 plus 3. Okay, so now what they have told, you will have to take the absolute values of the given number. So what is the absolute value of plus 6? It is 6. And the absolute value of plus 3 is 3. So they have told find the sum of their absolute value. So that we have done. And place the common sign before them. So you'll have to find the sum of their absolute values, right? So we just found the absolute value. So now we'll find its sum. 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. So we have found out the sum. So the next one is place the common sign before them. So the common sign for both the integers is plus, right? So I am placing the plus sign in front of the answer. So this is the kind of addition we were seeing all these days before we had learned integers also. So it doesn't make sense for us. So when we are trying it with a negative integer, then you will make even more better sense. So see here, I'm taking another example. So I'm going to add minus 9 plus minus 3. So what is our first step? We will have to find the absolute values of the number. So absolute value of minus 9 is 9 and absolute value of minus 3 is 3. So now you will have to find the sum. So 9 plus 3 is equal to 12. So after finding the sum of the absolute values, we are supposed to place the common sign before the answer. So what is the common sign? So this is also a negative integer and 3 is also a negative integer. So I will place minus 12. So here you can see plus 6 plus 3 is equal to plus 9 and minus 9 plus minus 3 equal to minus 12. So it's very simple. If you are having two integers of the same sign and they are asking you to find the sum or to add, then what are we supposed to do? We must simply add their absolute values and place the sign in front of them. If both are going to be positive, then you put a positive sign in front of the sum. And if both the integers are negative, then you will add. So even though you have a minus sign, you will be doing only addition if both the numbers are negative integers. You will add and then you will just place the minus sign in front of the sum. So this is our first rule. So now we'll move on to the second rule of addition of integers. So the second rule goes like this. To add two integers of unlike signs, find the difference of their absolute values and place the sign of the integer which has the larger absolute value before the difference. So we'll take an example of plus 8 plus minus 11. So what are we supposed to do? The first step is the same. You will find the absolute values. Plus 8. Absolute value of plus 8 is 8. Absolute value of minus 11 is 11. So previously in rule 1 we used to add the absolute values, but here we will be subtracting. So 11 minus 8 is equal to what? It is 3, right? So now what you should do, your plus 8 plus minus 11 will be equal to, what sign you will have to put is, when you are taking the absolute value, so just compare both the numbers 8 and 11 and see which is the greater number. 11 is your greater number. So what is the sign in front of 11? It is minus. So we will place the sign of the greater number in front of the difference which we have found out. So this is the second rule for your addition. Okay. So now, since we have completed the rules of addition, the 2 rules of addition, now we will be seeing the rules for multiplication of integers. Before we move on to subtraction, we need to know the multiplication rules of integers first. So we'll just have a look at the rules for multiplication of integers. So the rule 1, the first rule of multiplication of integers is to determine the product of 2 integers with unlike signs. So here we are going to find the product of 2 integers which are having unlike signs. Okay. Find the product of the numbers regardless of their sign. That is the absolute values, and give a minus to the product. So now we'll have an example. Okay. Suppose if you are going to have plus 3 into minus 6. So what are you supposed to do is first find the absolute values. Absolute value of plus 3 is 3. Absolute value of minus 6 is 6. So now you will have to multiply these two. So 3 into 6. What is 3 6 are? 18. So now when it comes to the sign, what are we supposed to do is we will simply have to put a negative sign in front of it. So why? Because they are unlike. Now here it is a positive integer and here it is a negative integer. So since they are unlike, what are we supposed to do? We have to find the absolute values and multiply the absolute values, and that product will be returned as the answer. And when it comes to the sign part, if both are going to be unlike, that is one is positive and the other is negative, then you will simply place a negative sign in front of the product. That will be your answer. If suppose we have minus 5 into 20, then how are we supposed to find out? So again, modulus of minus 5 will be equal to 5. Modulus of plus 20 is nothing but again 20. So the product of 5 and 20, that is nothing but 100. So you can see 5 and 20 are unlike integers. So you will place a negative sign in front of the product. So this is the first rule for your multiplication of integers. So now we look at the second rule. To determine the product of 2 integers with like sign, that is with the same sign, find the product of their absolute values and give plus sign to the product. So we'll see the example. So this is for like terms, when you are supposed to multiply like terms. Suppose I have plus 5 into plus 2. Then I have to find the absolute value of plus 5 first. Plus 5 equal to 5, plus 2 equal to 2. So now I will find the product. 5 2s are is 10. So now I have found out. See, to determine the product of 2 integers with like signs, find the product of their absolute values. So that we have done, and give a plus sign to the product. So now we will have to place a plus sign in front of the number. So you can write it as plus 10 or simply 10 as well. So now in this example we have seen 2 like integers which are having positive signs. So now we will see 2 negative integers, minus 5 and minus 2. So now first thing which we'll have to find out is find the absolute value of minus 5, which is nothing but 5, and then find the absolute value of minus 2, which is nothing but 2, and then we'll have to find the product. 5 into 2 is nothing but 10, right? And then what they have told, give a plus sign to the product. So even though they are negative integers, but still we will be placing a positive sign in front of the product. We'll be placing a positive sign in front of the product. Okay, so these are the basic two multiplication rules of integers which you must know. So there's something called a small rule based on the multiplication rules which we have studied. Okay, so it's nothing but minus into minus equal to plus, plus into plus equal to plus, plus into minus equal to minus, minus into plus equal to minus. So I will tell you the same small rules with example. Suppose if it is going to be minus 2 into minus 2, then you will write it as plus 4. If it is going to be plus 2 into plus 2, then again you will be writing it as plus 4. If it is going to be plus 2 into minus 2, then you will be writing it as minus 4. If it is going to be minus 2 into plus 2, then we'll be writing that as minus 4. So these four small rules of multiplication are very, very important, not only for your multiplication but even during your subtraction of integers. So that is why we skipped the subtraction rule after the addition and we straight away came to the multiplication rule. So now we'll be looking at the rules of subtraction of integers. So talking about subtraction of integers, see, if I am given a question like this, 5 plus 5 minus plus 3. So what we have to do is, first plus 5 will be as such, this minus into plus. First we'll write the small rules here. Minus into minus equal to plus, plus into plus equal to plus, minus into plus equal to minus, plus into minus equal to minus. So here we are having minus into plus. So minus into plus means minus, right? So this becomes minus 3. So now what can you see here? You can see that both the integers are unlike integers, right? So in addition rule, what did we study? If there are two unlike integers, then we'll first find the absolute value. So plus 5, the absolute value is 5. Then minus 3, the absolute value is 3. And then we will have to subtract them. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So this will be equal to 2, and we'll put the sign of the greatest number. So plus 5, what is the sign? Plus, so plus 2. Okay, so this is our example 1. If suppose we are given 5 minus 3, then we can write this as minus into minus. What is minus into minus? It is plus. So it will be 5 plus 3. So this is our common addition. So 5 plus 3 is what? 8. Okay. If suppose we have minus 5 minus 3, then again the same rule, minus into minus is plus 3. So now what is modulus of minus 5? 5, and modulus of 3 is 3. So again the addition rule, we'll find the subtraction, that is we'll find the difference. 5 minus 3 is 2. And then what is the sign of the greatest number? That is minus. So we'll put a minus. Okay. And if suppose you are having minus 5 minus plus 3, then again minus into plus is minus, right? So you will have minus 5 minus 3. So this is again the first rule of addition. So both are like integers. So what are you supposed to do if they are like integers? Then you will add the absolute values. Minus 5 equal to 5 and modulus of minus 3 equal to 3. So 5 plus 3 is 8. And then you will put the sign, that is the common sign, in front of the sum. So since both are negative, we are putting minus 8. So this is how subtraction of integers work. You have 4 different combinations. Okay. So till now we have seen the rules for adding 2 integers, multiplying 2 integers and subtracting integers. So the next operation which is left is division. So now we'll be seeing the rules for division of integers. So the first rule for division of integers is, if the dividend and the divisor are both positive or both negative, the quotient is positive. Okay, so now we'll see this with an example, and the example goes like this: 6 divided by 2. So your 6 is also plus 6 and your 2 is also plus 2. So both are positive, right? So what they have told, if they are both of positive, then your quotient will also be positive. So 6 by 2 is nothing but 3. So you will have a positive quotient. So I am placing plus sign. Suppose if it is going to be minus 6 by minus 2, then how will I write? I will be writing that as plus 3. Why? Because they have told, even if both your divisor and dividend are going to be negative, your quotient is nothing but a positive quotient. That is what is told in the rule, right? So if both are positive also, your quotient will be positive. If both your dividend and the divisor are negative also, your quotient will be positive. So how can you write this in general is plus divided by plus equal to plus, minus divided by minus is also equal to plus. Second rule of division is, if either one of the dividend or the divisor is positive and the other is negative, then the quotient is negative. So we'll see the example. If suppose we are having the dividend to be minus 6 and the divisor to be plus 2, then our quotient would be minus 3. Or if our dividend is going to be plus 6 and our divisor is going to be minus 2, even in this scenario your quotient would be minus 3. Okay, so this can be generalized as minus divided by plus equal to minus and plus divided by minus equal to minus. Got it? So these are the rules of division of integers. So in today's video, we saw the rules for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of integers. So if this video was really informative, then do like our video and share about our channel to your friends so that they get their light to crack their math.